Hi, I'm Nisha and this is my partner Akshay. We don't know how to swim, but we like to try. Like recently, we tried into something for the first time, doing our own landscaping. After we built our home, we ran out of every single dollar to pay for landscaping, so we decided to do it by ourselves. But it was a true blind leading the blind project. Exhausting, irritating, physically painful, broke, you name it. And in this video, I'm going to share how we turned this sad, empty place into a green space with an attitude of we will learn as we grow. We live in a small town by the lake, and this whole area, Lake Hāwea, has a history shaped by ancient glaciers and rivers. Because of that, the soil here is very sandy. It has a great drainage properties, but it lacks organic matter. There are only some native grasses, which are not typical lawn grasses. So the first thing we took was, even before moving in, stocking mulch. My idea with mulch was simple. We would spread it across the section so that by next spring it will break down and add some organic matters to the soil. So we arranged for it to be delivered to our section, but the truck couldn't get in, so it was dropped at neighbor's place instead. It took us roughly 8 hours to transport about 10 cubic meters of mulch to our land. We were so exhausted that day because of heat and humidity. 10 cubic meters does not sound like much, but while we were doing it, the pile never seemed to get smaller. Eventually, we dropped the idea of spreading all the mulch at once. The second step was compost. The key ingredient of a healthy garden is compost. We all know that, but it can also be very expensive. So we collected it from our previous rental garden waste, added manure and other organic matter, and let it break down for a few months before bringing it to our yard. My God, compost can be really heavy. Just look at this struggle. We also collected free horse manure. Looks tempting, right? Akshay was not impressed, but he didn't have much of a choice. I kept reminding him how good this compost would become once it broke down. We collected a good amount, mixed it with our previous compost, and let it mature for a few months. We even added some green cuttings from our lawn. And the most difficult part was the lawn. Once we moved in, the interior was amazing, clean and neat, but the outside was depressing. So to make this place feel alive, we needed some greenery. Without a second thought, I bought some 10-year-old boxwood plants from Marketplace and started digging with a shovel. Honestly, it was probably not the smartest idea, and we didn't have a right gear and only shovel. But after a few hours, we finally dug the holes and we used the compost we had prepared earlier, mixed it with some potting mix, and covered everything with mulch. Another fun project was a ready-made lawn for our baby girl June, so she could play outside. We compacted the topsoil, watered it, and laid the ready-made turf that I got from Marketplace. This was our first milestone. We were very happy.
Yay!
After that, we started doing the lawn section by section. The first section was where the builder had added topsoil. We first compacted it and added some compost, fertilizer, spread grass seed generously, and then added a thin layer of topsoil. After that, we waited 2 weeks to see if anything would grow before continuing further. And it happened. A thick layer of grass grew. We actually celebrated and told our whole family about it. We water it 3 to 4 times a day, every single day.
It's the other side of the rock. We just dug out from there.
Now for the second section, we first trimmed the existing wheat grass and brought in some topsoil and more compost from a local supplier. At this point, we decided to till this section.
Oh my God, we still have like so much to go. We are going to till the soil now and maybe put some compost and
fertilizer and add some lawn seeds. We hired a tilling machine, which we have never used before. It took us a while just to figure it out. Achay tilled the whole section. I know many people say tilling is not ideal, but I had this gut feeling it will help the soil, so we went ahead confidently. And in sandy soil like this, rain does not help much. The next day we compacted it, added compost, fertilizer, seed and topsoil again. It was like a second nature to us already. This section might look small, but when you do everything yourself, it becomes physically challenging. We both work full-time, so all of this was done only on weekends and it took us months to finish. At one point, I honestly started hating weekends.
Oh my god. Honey, show me your face. Turn around.
Last section was done on a very windy afternoon. I was sick but still stubborn enough to finish this. And honestly, that evening the lower back pain was brutal. We repeated the same process, but because of the wind, the seeds kept blowing away and there were many patchy areas left behind, which we will fix next spring. June even invited some of her friends to play outside and oh my god, I wanted to cry so bad.
Oh my god, I wanna cry.
And now, hedging. I love conifers, so I bought 68 Thuja plants for hedging. We hired an auger, which itself was a struggle because this soil was hard as rock. First, we struggled even how to use it. And at some point, we stopped talking with each other, not because we were upset or anything, but because we were so tired that we would look at each other's face and literally smile, or not even smile, maybe smirk. We dug holes twice the size of the root ball, added some soil and compost, and we planted the Thuja in the southern boundary and finished with mulch and water. June, thank you for helping me. Thank you. The western section had a clayish soil, so we couldn't use auger but soil.
So we did this end yesterday, and today we are going to start on this part. So they are like different soil. That one is like more sandy, but this one is more clay, and this hole here, it can retain water for more than an hour, so it means it is very clayish. So what we are going to do is we have some compost and we are going to add the same soil from the ground and add some gypsum and maybe some mulching, and should be okay.
It took us a long day to get this done. Finally, we added a last layer of mulch and we were done. It really felt good to finally see some grass and greenery around us. We should have installed irrigation when we were doing this project, but we were also working on a budget, so that might be next year's project now. Looking back, I used to regret not hiring professionals for landscaping or not paying for it. Sometimes I like to think of life as a game. You only understand it when you are actually in the field playing it, and I think we really were. We never have worked this hard physically just to create something from scratch, but somehow we are glad that we did. The amount of things we learned, experienced and understood can only happen when you are actually in it. The soil, the garden, it became my biggest inspiration. When we were digging and found rocks, we would sit and wonder how long they had been there untouched for millions of years. In those moments, we didn't just learn about gardening or soil or seed, but we discovered our interest in geology, nature and universe, and also learned how to lose some extra calories. I think we just discovered our new hobby. We have many plans for this space and we have done so much of progress. So if you are interested, come back for the next video, and thank you for watching. Bye.